Hello and welcome, and today is Sunday, Crypto Day, 13th of May, 2018. I am coming to you starting at 11:05 a.m. Eastern Time. Okay, everything you do within your own risk, own reward. We're going to go over charts, basically. 3-hour time frame for Bitcoin. As I stayed within the 3-hour morning, trying to correct this last down move. Doing relatively well. I stated on the 3-hour period it was holding its period halfway through. Well, the last half is pretty good because I can only assume on the 15-minute time frame, that the market has been bullish because, again, the last time I reported the 3-hour, this period didn't look like this. We are only 6 minutes into this period. It has only begun. But this is Bitcoin. I'm going to change this to Litecoin against the dollar. So don't blink. It's not going to look much different. Let's put the change up in. That's Litecoin against the dollar. Both Fibonacci lines represent the exact same thing. Exact same number. Okay. 23.6. Actually, no. They don't represent the same number. No, yes, they do, because this is 76.4, 61.8, 38.2 to the up, and 23's like down here, where it's at now. I don't got the line in, but it's at the 23.6, I would think. So let's calculate it. We have a high of 370.78. The low, I see 107.08 here, 106.52. Key numbers. Well, the 76.4 is 276.23, which is the exact number. So this is the Fibonacci. Then you got 230.25, 171.54, and right where we are now, I was stating 142.98 precisely. See, I can look at them and just pretty much tell where the number would be, but hey, interesting, that's where the market came down towards amongst the Litecoin chart. I want to talk about alternate coins priced in Bitcoin. The biggest winner that I'm involved with on the Bittrex exchange is Core. And the reason why I like to continuously show charts priced against Bitcoin, and I have the option to show all of these codes against the US dollar as well. I rarely do. I will rarely continue to do so. I don't care. Really, I don't care what the price of Core is against the dollar. I really don't. To a degree. Tron against the dollar, okay, Cash, Civic, EMC2, ARC, all those coins, it's not of note. I mean, it's important as well because you can use technical analysis from it, but I don't buy this code with the dollar. I don't sell this code with the dollar. I'm looking to increase my cryptocurrency portfolio. And by doing so, trading this against Bitcoin, I'm of course looking to make that number go higher. That's what it all comes down to. That's what the trading game is all about, for me anyway. I'll continuously show Bitcoin against the dollar. I don't trade it that often against any US dollar terms. I've got it up because that's what the portfolio is worth. You own X amount of Bitcoin. What's the Bitcoin worth in US dollars, or in my case, Canadian dollars? Because that's a measure for what your portfolio is worth. And when you're looking to liquidate from your portfolio, then it makes it very easy. But that's really what it comes down to. So here's something that is just continuously chopping around. Regardless of if it's in an uptrend or in a downtrend, it has magnificent moves you can play on. It's like a school assignment. How many of them can you find on this chart? Literally, just recently. Okay, today it happened. I mean, the price actions right now, where it came from 33 to 38, you're already in sell territory if you're happy with like 12% moves. If you had your sell orders in here, congratulations. But like I've stated before, you could have hit your sell order at 37.5 because that's a decent enough price for where it was the day before. And the fact that you would have bought that day maybe, or the day before you would have bought there, either way. Maybe you had your sell order near the top. Maybe your sell order was just below this line and it missed. Or just below the previous high of in here. See, if you play below this high at like, oh, 44, you missed. If you play just below this high, look how beautiful that would have been to hit the 459. But within these, look at these opportunities. Just not only like on this day here, April 9th, it was in an uptrend, it had its move. Today's in a downtrend, it's having its move. March 21st, look at the intraday volatility. On March 25th, March 26th, April 1st, April 2nd. The intraday moves are wild. And if you look at the percentage moves, like on April Fool's Day, that's no joke, with a low of a 280 handle and a high at 355. So there was a potential to get 75 basis points on 28. That's over 25%. And then, of course, just within this day here, March the 4th, intraday low, the 323 handle, intraday high, 710, greater than double. And if you include it from the low to the high, February 28th, the low of the 267, and then a high of 900, better than triple the gain from the lowest to the highest points, which means as a trader looking to sell high and buy low, opportunities to sell up in here, and the buybacks were obvious. Buying back more than you thought you probably would have or should have. So that's it for core. Let's take a look at some other ones, because I've seen some interesting setups for today. I want to go over those. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in the 3-hour time frame and just go quick mode on them. What do we see? I'm going to start with the ones that are doing the best for the day. You don't see what I'm looking at. I'll just name them. But the second best is Steam. We're always going to use the 3-hour. So this is something that has potential for a current day trade. Why? Well, what's the 18 average doing? It was declining ever since it started to roll over on April the 28th. And after this last leg lower, breaking support at around the 360 handle, it fell to under 300, 294-ish. Nice sideways consolidation, but it left this band about 5 periods ago. It's been riding it ever since. So something to look at. Buying now is very moderate. You always want to take a look at extra time frames, but just something to keep your eye on. Tron. For me, it's all about the fact that I sold already recently, because that's what I do. If it keeps going higher, I'll sell more. And if it goes lower, I buy. I just continuously do that. That's just what I do. Okay, cash. Barely starting to switch over, but this is something where you look at it. It's had 4 periods amongst this, just doing this. After the band is flattened, so 3 periods holding it. This is a beautiful setup where you don't know if a leg higher from here is going to be real or not, but as a trader, you see potential that maybe you can come and test some of these spots in which you came from. The most conservative spot would be about 1944. And then we're talking about the 61.8% retracements closer to 2120. And they usually pierce extra. You can go 2150, 2165. And then you can do the numbers in your head for the risk reward and how you'd want to play it. But one way of looking at it is you go long 1767. you place a stop somewhere conveniently below the 18 average of lows where it bottomed, not where it is now. So 1645, maybe somewhere around under 1600. So your risk in a spot like this could be 10%. You pull the trigger, go long. And if you play for the conservative level, so you're going for a little under 2,000, we'll say, you're looking at it getting a little over 200 basis points. So you're basically doing an even money trade. Maybe you're getting like plus 115 kind of odds comparing it to a sports bet. And then, of course, if you're looking to sell, say at maybe 2180, you're looking for a difference of, say, 22, 18, 450 basis points, 470? No, 2180, 420. So 170, 340, you're looking at about 23%. So you're getting 23 to 10 odds based on a play like that, 23% to 10%. Thinking of when you're trading and you can think of numbers like that, and that's productive because then you're understanding the mathematics, you're understanding risk rewards, you can understand, okay, what's the likelihood of this play? Are there other codes that give me better probabilities? Do I want to play like 20 different ones to give me diversification for spots like that? Because this isn't my normal trading game, but I understand it's, well, depending on the situation, if sometimes I will, but most of the time, but I just want to explain it. Most of the time I do, like I state, buy low, sell high, where I'd be looking to sell if this goes to 1800 and change, looking to buy if this falls to the 18 lows. But a lot of people are looking for different situations of when to try to capitalize when a move is just starting to turn over. And that's what we're looking at here. Now here we have a choppy moving code since its decline, ranging in between the 4100 to 44. This is Civic, CVC. Of course, you can see the name on the upper left-hand side and the ticker symbol above that as well. So we've had, what, test number 1, even 1 here. At the 44.38, where we stand now. You do so at timestamp May 6, 1400 hours. Then again on May 8th. Again May 10th. Piercing below it May 11th, but getting above it or at it on May the 12th. And here we stand today, May the 13th. Again, so several days where it's doing it. Support has been 41.49, but there's been one interesting situation. It's had this little move in here. So now we can start talking about failed move, fast moves. Is this selling a failed move? Because breaking above this resistance, you could almost give it the head and shoulders, the reverse, that is, type of talk, type of code language, if you will. But it means after you have several hits amongst this area and the ultimate resistance in at 4,600, that a fast move to where it came from at 5170 is not in surprise. Let's switch this up to the daily. What does this show us? This shows us that after the long decline from over 9,000 going down below 2722, the line worked out pretty decent, I would think, but it didn't resist this level. No. It pierced below it on April 10th. Thus, on its next leg higher, it now failed the eye test to be a level of resistance, and justifiably so. But it had its move, leaving the 18 average April the 10th, topping on April the 14th. Since then has been a complete month now, it has held this key number of 3984, we'll round it to 4,000, as support. In fact, not only has it been support, but it's mainly supported a good 5% higher at 4,200, 4169 even. So now we got the decision make. You're either going to have to break the support of 39.73. This rally is a failed rally. We'll test back to 27.2. I don't know how optimistic I'd be for anything more than a small bounce. And a small bounce can be 30-40%, but that's just the volatility of this game. A lovely game. So the resistance, which we can see 49.35, but upwards to 51.72. These lines work pretty good. So you want to give me a target? It's conservative, 67.33-ish area. Medium one, 73.50. More aggressive, it's going to pierce extra. You could probably get close to 8,000. That's on the break of the resistance. If you want to guess now that it's going to go there, the cost to buy is 4,427-ish. You might have to spend a bit more. You could try to bargain your way down to 44.10, playing the bid-ask game. It's 4,400 low change. If you're waiting for this thing to break above resistance, you're going to be waiting for 53.51, so it's going to be more expensive. If you're looking forward to even have a nicer pattern, which means you want to see this show something nice above the 18 average, then you're looking at least around 4,700 to buy. So by taking a chance saying, I think this is going to be good, you get a better price. You could look at stop areas with the price action falls to say 3,600 and change. That's where I'd want to get out. Because if it comes down here, yeah, you could get hit with a failed breakdown. It could work out bad to sell as a stop here, because you could have a failed move here, make a higher low, and then just shoot up higher. One of the reasons why I don't like to play that game. But oftentimes you do see that stop here. You're going to see 2,700 later. You're going to be glad you did as well. But it gives you an area for where it can go to. And in a situation where, say, you sell at 73.76 area and it just keeps going higher, you don't lose when you make a nice winning trade. Just think of it from that perspective. Not only that, not only do you not lose on that situation, but you can still win. And I'll say it in a form of, okay, so here's a spot where one person who bought, say, down here at 2,500 in the start of December, sold her all at, say, 58.23. Could have got better. Had many days looking at it at like over 8,000, man. But you don't lose by selling at a profit. Not only that, you got your buyback at a cheaper price. So that's where you still win on the play. So you can have a situation where, okay, I'm going to sell here at 7,300 and change. And then you're wrong. It goes to, say, 14.5, but you got your profit. But then next thing you know, it comes back to 5,000 or 4,600, and you can buy it back that way again later on. Those are normal, common things within the crypto market. Let's move on to a different code. And here we have QTUM, QTUM, buy low, sell high. So what are you doing after you broke its support at the 224 handle? Buy, and okay, now let's start selling again. Daily chart, what do we see here? Because this thing is now just starting to break out, but it's semi-tough to buy here. The fact that it's consolidated its move higher, it hasn't went up too much since it's really broken it out above the 197 number. That's why, again, you want to look at the short term, and you know what, that's not bad time to buy. You're betting that this move had its support, is successfully correcting doing so. But another thing you're betting on too is the easiness of trade, because you're saying, okay, I want to bet on this if it breaks resistance at around the 204 handle. Here we're sitting at 201.8. But it's easy for me to buy this now at 201, but I've done this so many times before. I've tried to wait to buy on a break of resistance, and I just can't buy at 204, because the first thing I do, I see it, I go, I see, I put my buy order in, I'm taking what the person says is the ask price, maybe 204,633, this number you see. I put my buy order in, I push submit, but it doesn't go through because someone beat me to it. Now it's in the bid, and someone just overbid me for 1 Bitcoin. And you get frustrated, you cancel your bid. Next thing you know, you're buying at 207.13. I've been there. Or the fact you try to buy and someone just buys it up so fast that someone literally instantly buys it up from like 203 to 208. And now what do? Do you wait for the pullback? So that's one of the more reasons in the situations I sometimes would be like, yeah, you know what? This might be good for a decent push. Then we go back to some of the longer term time frame. Where do we see a sell target? Well, we came from 225. We could calculate 61.8% from this low to this high. We can look at more longer term Fibonacci, see what we could find along the way. Do I have any on here now? I do not. A daily time frame, we're coming up to the 18 average. So yeah, 61.8% from first you calculate Fibonacci from here to here, see what you can find. Then you got Fibonacci from the March lows to this high, and then the same high to this low. Because quite frankly, the 61.8% number here is probably where you'd be looking to go. So you could scalp an easy gain from 201 to 224. You're looking at getting a 10% push. Not that great for volatility compared to the rest of the field. Let's continue on through. The next one's going to be Poly, so it looks good. It's going well. It's hot right now. This thing is hot, hot, hot. Okay, so then, oh, this is just breaking this resistance now, baby. You had a nice rally up towards here, a little bit of a pullback, big rally, little bit of a pullback. But notice these patterns in here. Timestamp, May 12th, 5 hours. It gets above the 18 average, but now 2 periods where it stays at the 18 average of highs. So this is where when I talk about where you're like, it just looks so good, I want to buy now at 107. You were right. You bought at 107, it's at 117. You're up about 8% so far. Market had a nice little move. You have about 3 periods just going sideways, still above the 18. Buyers are in control when this is the case. Then we want to see again, well, where do we have the potential to go? We're basically setting or chartering new territories. Difficulty now. Fibonacci upside. Which one do I choose? 102.35 to the 75.76 because doesn't look like it went high enough here, but we'll take a look. Upside target 123. Yeah, it's not there. So I'm not going to calculate this. Well above 123 for sure. But again, you're in chartering into new territories. Me as a trader, I own this. I'm going to be selling on decent breaks. But what I wouldn't do is, again, like sell barely above the break of resistance. Now, in this case here, when the rally, it left the 18 average and it started with big moves. It's been grinding its way higher. It could be leaving its grinding move now, which gives this potential for a large size decent gain or leg higher. But as price action starts to get to 123, 120, or 125 to 130, I'm going to be looking to sell. And always when the market retraces back, I'm a rebuyer. The buybacks come in. So that's going to be Poly. Let's move on next to AMP. And let's move on next to Steam Dollars. Now, Steam Dollars had a huge decline, but starting to settle in, which means the game has changed. From this whole point down, it was buy, 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 and now it's barely starting to sell. Daily term time frame. Look at how much this thing retraces from this move. Lots of great opportunities play in the game, looking to sell when it has big pushes and then just looking for a cheaper price lower. So if you're selling at 36 handle and you see it at 280, okay, great. And if you bought it there, you can sell some more. And then you've seen it back at 280 again, and you bought. Now it's at 272. Did you buy at 242? If so, it's a small sale. If not, just keep on waiting. Because if it goes up to, like, say, 316, maybe you'll sell. If it goes down to this previous level of support, I'm hoping you're buying at 208. That's basically how I play the game. Now, when I say I hope you're buying it, I mean it's on two levels, because this is a rebuy of a current level that failed. And there's nothing wrong with taking the advanced strategy of waiting more and saying, you know what, no, I'm going to pass on here. I'm not going to buy until it gets down to, say, 160 or 170. That's where I would say, you know what, good luck to you, because that probably could be the smart play. I'm on the variety that if it goes down there further, I'm just going to buy it anyway. On a retest of the level, I'm happy with a lower high rally, meaning if this goes down in here, I'm buying at 211, I'm seeing it at 270, I just want to sell there. So that's why I'd be looking to buy. Your volatility game is a big reason, and if you're looking to buy, if you're playing bigger volatility, it's probably not a good buy at all. But then you might be using charts like the 3-day or 4-day time frame. GNT, this is an interesting daily chart. I want to look at this mainly starting from the 3-hour, just by scrolling down. But possibility in reverting the trend. This thing has just broken past the level of resistance power ledger up to this point here. So it's, unless you know there's going to be a big amount of buying coming in, I don't see anything in volume stating that I'd be too enthusiastic to buy this at this point, because I probably would have bought down here. And if I last, say, bought it around this price and I didn't buy here, again, it's a wait game. Interesting on Stratus, because chart analysis with the move, first off, you had the big green candle coming up here. Of course, this was like the 4th or 5th time it tested the 702 handle. So, oh man, don't pull back this time. No, it extends further, making a leg higher, coming back. Let's just see what the number differential is. This low is handle 73,700. This high 73,500. 200 basis points pierced below. But from the big red candle down, look at this market with the 18. This is a big reason. This is basically the only indicator that I use on these charts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, where it just stays with the 18 average of highs, thus consolidating the rally from the 650 handle nicely. And then you had this green candle move followed through within such. I would be any price movements going down to meet up within these 18 average. Let's take a look at this on the single hour, actually. Because I like how the hourly time frame, how the price action corrected within it like this. So this is something I want to focus on if I want to trade it. I'm not an aggressive buyer for this move right now. But I realize that if this can come back to where it came from, that it would be perfect to buy this at around 725 within the 18. And then from there, you're going to be looking at going back, playing within these previous highs. How does this work on the daily time frame? Very aggressive, very tough to play this on the daily. But if you're trying to play for this resistance field of the 79, you're throwing that aside, because you realize that it's both bullish and bearish right now for this price action to reach the 18 highs. I can't count how many times I have seen a downtrend like this, and then you switch the dice over. You go from the bears having the turn, now the bulls have their turn. And I can't count how many times the bulls finish their turn off, and you see something like this, a decent gain, once or twice or a few times the 18 average being very good support. And then it fails. We see 3 big red candle down days. So after the second one, it followed through, making a statement with another one. So I can't count how many times I've seen this resist the band and roll over, but how many times it's even gone to near the 18 average of highs. Thus, that's where it's going to top. Then it's going to consolidate in this area between, in this case, it would be between 79 and 66 for a little bit. Probably later on see a weakness within the 18 average of lows, and then the big fall. And in this case, you'd be expecting to pierce below the 600 handle, or probably closer to 580 to 590, if not even the further, who knows, below that. So that's it with that code. Let's move on to some other ones. Red coin, RDD. So it's early on in the stages, which means the difference of, say, something like this, if you're buying, you've already had a decent gain from this lower area, where red coin, not so much. So you got the possibility, okay, I got a previous area where it came from at about 102. On the daily chart, this is another situation of, just like Strat, very good gain. Now the failure date. So with it being the exact same thing, I'm not going to repeat what I did before because the analysis is thus the same. EMC2 looks about the same here again. Although it's already had this move breaking down below support at 31.53. It is thus far held below this low. It looks like a 61.876, actually 0.4% correction. That we can see price objectives. If you want to go long at this stage, you can make a move to the 18 average band, which would probably coincide with where it came from at about 3,150. DNT, District 0x, starting to possibly revert the trend over, because when you go long on a situation like this, it could very easily be like half a day later and this thing is at like up here at like 1150. And it's just consolidating, going sideways, trying to hold this move. But again, with this code, look at the moves that occur. And you don't have much time to sell this. But if you do, congratulations. And you have even less time to sell in here. Again, if you did, congratulations. Furthermore, when you get some of those sales, like I stated on the intro of this video, you start selling at like 560 during this big rally. It could take a decent amount of time to get some of those buybacks, but they come in. Patience is the name of the game. And patience, understand your strategy. Understand that in past histories, has patience been the correct situation? Then that's what you do. And one easy way of being patient is go and do something else. Look at it and realize, yeah, it's probably good to be patient here. Next. And I say next as you do something else. And look at other codes, stuff like that. I don't want to go too much longer because the longer I go, the more frustrating it becomes to process videos. But, yeah, that's basically really about it. Let's just take a look at some of the losers now for the day. We'll go on the 3-hour time frame. Cloak is something that is just fun to trade. If there's anyone coming in and just like, what's just one of the lower volume ones that you just really like, it's Cloak. It really, really is. So, yeah. The biggest loser is only 5% down, and that's THC. So this is the 3-hour time frame. So interesting setup. You're around the 18 average of closes now. You've had the big down move, band flatten out, a stage 1 for reversal, stage 2 establish, stage 3 come back, all that kind of stuff. But you were at 12.14. You've given a little bit of it back. Do you want to buy now? Do you want to try to get maybe 20 basis points or 20 Satoshi cheaper? Because I think you can get the 18 lows. 61.8% down from this high to this low. Maybe you want to go about 110.79. Maybe go for about 70 to 80 Satoshi cheaper. Definitely a possibility. But that's the gamble you have on the play. Because if it's successful in a bullish case, then that you're asking for it to go down and back up again. And if it's going to go down and down further, you're going to get the buy regardless either way. Daily chart, this just continues to correct sideways from this rally on April the 9th. It may manage to have 2 days up, go sideways, a decent amount of moves up, some nice volatile moves thereafter. It's established a top at around 1420, about 1400 hit 3 times now. And it has so far successfully corrected it. Volatility. You realize that this thing can go extreme at any time, because it wouldn't surprise me that this thing get going at any time. It's not my job to figure out when, but it could easily go 3, 4, 5, 6 days later, and this thing is like over 3,000 and 3 times higher. Not a surprise. That did it before. And you talk about 3 times higher. Oh, how about going from 650 up to like 5,000? And even if you go December, you go from 200 and change to like 5,000 and change. Over 20 times higher. Volatility is there for those who wait for it. Let's take a look next at Litecoin Ethereum. As it continues to head down, what does this tell you? It's going to be going to this number probably. We'll just keep on waiting, watching, and seeing. But I've talked about this pattern in here before. I will again in case, well, I mean, I won't put so much content out and you really can't watch all my videos. The fact that you're still watching this at 37 minutes in means you are very damn serious about winning at this game and learning. And if you are on those 2 things, keep on at it. So when you come down to this key Fibonacci number at the 232 handle, great time to buy, but it didn't work. It was a losing bet. Of course, if you hold on, I'm very confident long term that it works, stating that you buy continuously down more. Of course, if you're just playing this for, you're not looking for small moves, that means you haven't done anything since you last bought at this number. Hopefully you got the sale up here. But we see market dynamics, how this number gives in 427, April 27, April 28th, and then just goes sideways in here. Decent leg lower, breaking down below the 18 average of lows. And then it comes up above the 18 highs, close to this level of Fibonacci, and now starting to head it lower. Look at the last few days. May the 8th breaks below 18 lows. And then for 3 consecutive days continues it more. Piercing, breaking below that last low. Small green candle up day yesterday, but it's been instantly rejected. Instantly rejected. So you'd have to think that this is going to keep going down to 185, where I would be looking at its next level of support, and as a trader, looking to buy back again. As we can see, these moves are wild back and forth. That if all you're trying to do is sell high and buy low, and the numbers game can tell you that, it's going to work out for you on the long-term time frame. I'm done for this video. I'm kind of exhausted. So thank you for tuning in to this video. Almost 40 minutes in duration. Wow, that is long. But you know what? I can do it. I can do it. And the fact that there's about 20, 30 people probably watching at this point. If you are sending me all the comments, I really do enjoy it, because I get spammed by, it's almost like a virus attack of like these. And when I say virus, I mean like real bugs, pests, if you will. putting a bunch of these like airdrop type of comments, and most of them get rejected. The ones that don't, I remove them instantly anyway. So I do appreciate all the legitimate comments, and I enjoy teaching. So this is one of my favorite top 300 videos I've done. So many of them, top 200 of them even, that I think I've done, because a lot of good stuff that I've presented in these videos people will be looking for to pay for at like trading seminars and such. And that's not like I planned on showing a lot of these codes. I'm just, what do I feel like showing now? Thank you for tuning in. Bye-bye.